is going on? I don't know why I do stupid stuff. I just do stupid stuff all the time. What's going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Phantump. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are all doing well. Come back tomorrow. We're going to be streaming tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time right here on this channel. I hope to see you guys out there. We're going to be opening up a lot of fun stuff, hopefully pulling an alternate art and then giving something away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Spoiler alert right there. Today's going to be a fun video because we're going to be talking about Pokemon Go. We're going to be talking about the price changes associated with Pokemon Go. Now that the set's been out for, looks like about 18 days, almost 3 weeks. And typically when you have a set release, you have this crash over the weekend, and then you have the crash a couple weeks after. And with the way the Pokemon market has been right now, you would expect Pokemon Go to kind of follow suit. We screenshotted all the prices opening day on TCG Player and then compared them to what they did over the weekend. We saw some dramatic drops when it came to some of those cards. However, now that 2 weeks have passed, I don't know what's going on. There's some cards that are really moving in the opposite direction and becoming more expensive. I don't know if people just aren't opening up Pokemon Go, so people are just buying singles, and that's causing the singles to jump up. Pokemon Go is still a fun set to open. You get a lot of really cool cards. Pull rates are really good. I don't know what's going on, so you can let me know in the comment section down below. But before we do, we need to do a Danny rant. Because I feel like I can talk to you guys. I just feel like I can talk to you guys. This was announced earlier today. This is Sword and Shield 12.5 special set. This is on PokeGuardian. Special set has been confirmed. What? 12.5? I was under the impression that Sword and Shield 12 was the end of the Sword and Shield block, and then we could look forward to Scarlet and Violet. Now, we should anticipate Sword and Shield 12 to come out sometime in November. So we've got Lost Origin, which was delayed, pushed back to like September 9th. So we're not going to have that August release. This means we're going to have a lot of sets sandwiched all at once again. But then you look at November as Sword and Shield 12, the last Sword and Shield set, and then February would be like the beginning of the next gen, the next saga, which is Scarlet and Violet, and that's when we should get the release of that TCG. But then all of a sudden we see, boom, Sword and Shield 12.5 special set. And last year it made sense for all these special sets to come out, right? We had Celebrations, we had Shining Fates. The year before that we had Champion's Path, which kind of came out of nowhere and weren't really expecting that. And then Shining Fates, and then Celebrations, and we've had Pokemon Go, and all of a sudden, boom, here is 12.5, and this just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. We've talked before at length about how many cards is too many cards to be printing, how many sets is too many sets for collectors and even competitive players to try and assemble decks and to try and assemble collections containing all of these cards. It is getting next to impossible. This might just be a little bit too much, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. If you could let me know in the comments section down below how much is too much, because now we're looking at another set that needs to be sandwiched sometime between November and February. So whether this comes out kind of late November or maybe sometime in December, we're looking at another Sword and Shield set, 12.5, and you're going to have a bunch of promo cards, it looks like, that were released in Japan that didn't make their way over here. A bunch of signature trainer cards, much like what we saw from the Marnie milk carton where you had the Marnie signature. It looks like there's going to be a bunch of those in there. Not a whole lot that stands out so far. You've got a Kyogre V. You've got this cute little EVV. Looks like another Duraludon. There could be some promo cards in this set, as we see down here with Zeraora. You've got the Pikachu VMAX, because why not? You need another Pikachu, right? We've only had like 18 Ultra Rare Pikachus so far. You've got the Deoxys. You've got the Deoxys V-Star. So some cool cards, but nothing that really screams out at me like, hey, we need a special set. We need more cards. Just seems like a lot. So I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm done ranting. Let's move over to Pokemon Go. I want to talk about this because you see these specialty sets, right? And you think scalping. And a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, scalping is going to be an issue with these specialty sets, because that's what we're used to, right? We had so many issues with Champion's Path, Shining Fates, and even Celebrations when it first came out, until people realized, hey, this is readily available and it's going to be available for quite some time. And then I think a lot of resellers kind of left the market and moved over to something else. But I think a lot of people were kind of expecting this to be a Pokemon Go set that kind of gets bought out and resold at high rates, and it's going to be tough to find. And we're looking at well below MSRP pricing for pretty much every single sealed product that's out there in existence. So starting out with the ETB, we're looking at just a month's worth of data here, because this set is only 3 weeks old. But at the beginning, right before release, this ETB was selling for $57.09, and it dropped down to $46.27 a couple weeks ago, and now that's where it's kind of sitting, $46.87, which is about $5 off off of that MSRP rate. And this could be a mix of some things. Maybe people who pre-ordered the specialty ETB from Pokemon Go or Pokemon Center, which has been delayed until like mid-July or end of July or whatever the case may be. They're kind of like, okay, well, I want to open up something, so I'm buying this. But it seems like it's kind of staying well below MSRP. And then we've got the premium collection, which sold out on Pokemon Center for quite some time. And a lot of people were like, hold on, this is going to be the tough product to find. This is what everybody's going to want. And you can see that based off of the $63.66 market price that it was selling for right before release. However, readily available out there. It's at a 1 month low right now, sitting at $46.29. This is getting dangerously close to that point where it's pretty much selling for wholesale plus shipping, because these are a little bit more expensive to ship. You're looking at $10 to $12 because of the size and weight on these bad boys, and it's selling for $46.29, readily available, that you can buy online at your local card store. Probably just going into a retail shop, you can probably find them at Target or at Walmart. It's crazy how much the market has changed. If we look over the gym or the specific teams, so this is the Team Mystic box right here, and they're all kind of running right around the same price points: Team Mystic, Team Instinct, and Team Valor. But I just chose one of them and went with Team Mystic here. At one point it was selling for $45.63, which is quite a bit above MSRP. You're looking at $29.99 for MSRP for this, selling right at $45.63 before release, and it's dropped all the way down to $30.88 pretty much when this product specifically released. It's selling at $31.20 right now, so right around that MSRP point of $29.99 once you factor in shipping and things like that. Obviously not too bad of a price. These also seem to be readily available. But if you look at the Alolan Executor collection, holy buckets, is this one dropped like crazy. This is a $19.99 product, $19.99 for MSRP. $24.18 was its high point, which it hit before release. And then you're looking at $16.40, a 1 month low, which is where it's sitting at right now for 4 packs. That's basically $4 a booster pack for this set. And then you're looking at a 40-cent ultra rare plus the jumbo. That's crazy to me how far this has dropped. And when you factor in shipping and things like this, a lot of companies are at the point where they're kind of losing money, taking an L. Once you factor in fees for TCG Player, you're looking at about 13% for that. So that brings this down to about a $14 box. Then you factor in shipping. This one you could probably send first class for about $4. You're looking at about $10. You're probably paying $13, $14 wholesale for this box. So you're probably taking the L in some cases right here by selling it for $16.40. But this product has really fallen down. Not too bad for 4 packs in an Alolan egg. And then we've got this one here, which I don't even know what it is because it's the Pikachu tin that seems to be hiding. But $33.19 is the price point that it was selling for, kind of at pre-order pricing. This is a $20 tin, dropped down to $24.40, which is where it's sitting right now. You can see just kind of following the curve, going in the downward direction. And these are products that you can find all over the place on eBay and on online stores for significantly less if you're buying them as a whole tin case, things like that. I've seen tin cases as low as $95, $96 for 6 tins, which is significantly cheaper than that MSRP point of $19.99. So these products really falling down. If we look at singles, this is where things really start getting interesting, and I wanted to leave the data here so that way we can go through it. So starting with this Mewtwo V, I'm going to go through things relatively quick, but I'm going to explain what all these numbers are. So this 107.31 for the Skyline alternate art Mewtwo V, which is super cool. This 107.31 is the price point that this Mewtwo V was at on release day. So we looked at the release day pricing of this specific card to see where it was sitting, and 107.31 was the number attached to it. Then if you go down to the $72.73 mark, that's where it was the Monday after release. So you're looking at a 32.22% drop just opening weekend. Now we're fast forwarding, and I pulled these numbers last night. So this is from July 18th. You're looking at this card in specific being down to $58.70. So it fell an additional 19.29%, which is very, very normal on what we expect typically from new releases. You usually want to wait a couple weeks for a release to hit in order to start buying those singles, because that's when you're really going to start seeing these products kind of at their lowest price point when it comes to singles. Now, this one probably hasn't fallen as far as I think it will. I think it'll go down a little bit more yet, but another 19.29% drop, sitting at $58.70. The Mewtwo V-Star, however, the Rainbow Rare, has gone in the opposite direction. Not by much, but it hasn't dropped. You're only looking at a 26% drop opening weekend. It's actually gone up 2.43% since then, sitting at $50.58. So after the set released, it dropped down to $49.38, and now it's gone up to $50.58, which is a 2.43% increase, which isn't bad at all. Very surprising. The Mewtwo V-Star Gold card was at $63.62 opening day and dropped down to $45.10. That was a 29% drop. Not substantial, not a huge percentage when it comes to the drop. Usually a new set, an actual big set like Battle Styles or Chilling Reign, you're going to see drops that are in 40, 50, 60% territory that opening weekend. Just really, really strong drops. 29%, not too bad. And it's only dropped about 6.14% since then, sitting at $42.33. The Radiant Charizard is what boggles my mind, because you're looking at a pull rate of Radiant cards of 1 out of every 18 packs you open. So that means if you're pulling perfectly, you should only have to pull about 54 packs in order to pull a Radiant Charizard, because you're going to get 3 Radiants in those 54 packs. Now, pulling perfectly isn't possible. We all know that. Sometimes some people are going to pull 3 Radiant Charizards in 54 packs. Some people it's going to take 154 packs to pull a Radiant Charizard. That's why it's called averages. But this was a $32.96 card. When it came out, that opening weekend, it jumped all the way up to $40.79, which was a 23% gain. It's still sitting above that opening day price, sitting at $36.70, about a 10% drop from where it was the Monday after release. If we look at the Dragonite V-Star, this one's actually held really well. So it had a huge, huge drop opening weekend, much closer to what we're used to. It went from $85.18 down to $35.42, which is a 58% drop. It's actually only dropped single digits since then, so 8.72%, sitting at $32.33. Not too bad for a Dragonite V-Star Rainbow Rare. It's actually held its value pretty well over the last few weeks. If we look at the Mewtwo V-Star, this one's not too bad when it came out. A lot of competitive connotations that go along with Mewtwo V-Star. We'll see if it makes any impact on Worlds. It actually went up opening weekend about 6%, and now it's dropped a little bit further to what we were more accustomed to. $11.85 is where it's currently sitting, which is a 34.5% drop over the last few weeks. If we look at the Rainbow Rare Spark, going in the completely opposite direction. Opening day, this was a $9.98 card. It jumped up to $14.11 over that 4-day weekend period. It went up 41.38%. And now it's actually stayed relatively flat, gone up a few cents. It's sitting at $14.16 over the last few weeks. And that just goes to show you, while Pokemon Go has decent pull rates, those higher rarity cards, those Rainbow Rare cards, not a whole lot different than what we're seeing from normal releases. Not great pull rates when it comes to those Rainbow Rare cards. They're a little bit harder to pull. If we look at the Conkeldurr V, this one has dropped like a tank. This one is tough. $37.47 down to $13.22, so at a 65% drop opening weekend, and now it's dropped an additional 28.5%. This is a $9.43 alternate art. Probably the only one that's cheaper than this in existence is that Sandaconda alternate art. This one, single digits for an alternate art, not too bad. The Candela Rainbow Rare, up, 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 going in the opposite direction. $14.98 down to $13.20 opening weekend, which is about a 12% drop. It's actually jumped up 18% since then. It's sitting at $15.59, which is the highest it's been since this product actually released. Same thing with Radiant Blastoise, going in the opposite direction. $10.26 upon release, dropped or went up to $13.07, which is a 32% jump, and now it's gone up an additional 1.5% to $13.28. If we look at the Radiant Venusaur, $9.58 when it came out, that went up 17% to $11.21. It's given most of that back. It's sitting at $9.92, still a little bit above where it was opening day, but an 11.5% drop over the past couple weeks. If we look at Professor's Research, this one's really, really mind-boggling, and again, this goes to show you how difficult those Rainbow Rares are to pull. This was a $14 card when the set released, dropped down to $10.36, which is about a 26% drop the Monday after release. Now it's shot up to $19.64, which is higher than it's ever been. That's an 89.5% increase over the past few weeks. Melmetal VMAX doing kind of the same thing. It was at $20.35, dropped all the way down to $10.27. 49.5% decrease. It's jumped all the way up to $15.61, and that was the low market price. The lowest single near mint copy that I saw on TCG Player was closer to that $24 mark. 52% increase on Melmetal VMAX. Egg Incubator going up. It's up 3.85% to $9.17 from the $8.83 it was at opening weekend. And then if we look at some of these Ditto cards here, still holding fairly strong. This Spinnerack right here was up 108% opening weekend. It's lost 18% of that, but still sitting at $6.92 a few weeks after release. Bidoof was at $4.01 opening day, went all the way up to $7.95, which was a 98% increase. It's dropped almost 14% now. It's sitting at $6.84 cents. Still a really strong card when you consider it's just a Ditto that's hiding under there. If we look at the lure module, this one is gaining ground as well. This was at $9.64 opening day, dropped to $7.46. Now it's up 31% to $9.77. The new Mel, $3.84 opening day, went up to $7.38, which is a 92% increase. It's only dropped 8% since then to $6.79. Still very, very strong. We've only got a few more here. Professor's Research, $9.64 opening day, dropped to $7.14, which is about a 26% drop. It's gone up, or it's gone down a little bit more, 8.5%, sitting at $6.53 currently. Dragonite V, the full art, doing really well. This one's actually up 30% over the last few weeks. It's sitting at $9.14 after its $7 performance on the Monday after release. If we look at these ones here, Dragonite V-Star dropped 72%. This one dropped like a rock. This one lost a lot of value. $13.37 on opening day, dropped down to $3.74. It dropped 72%. Now it's dropped an additional 20%, sitting at $2.98 for a V-Star. That just goes to show you if it's not a competitive V-Star, it's really probably not going to be that expensive. Conkeldurr V, the full art, is up 15% to $3.89. Now, it doesn't take much to gain some pretty good ground when these numbers are this cheap. So $3.89 for a full art, still relatively cheap, but up 15%. Alolan Executor V, this is down 7% to $2.92 from the $3.15 that it was at. And then Melmetal VMAX went from $1.71 up to $1.78, which is a 4% gain. But again, Melmetal VMAX, a VMAX card that's only selling for $1.78 anyways, not too big when it comes to actual value that's associated with it. But very interesting to look at some of these gains that a lot of these cards are going through right now. And I think that speaks a lot to the pull rates that we've talked about so many times on this channel. That's why it's so important to kind of study those to get a feel for what cards might be a little bit more difficult and when you should start looking at purchasing singles rather than buying something sealed to crack. As fun as it is to rip cards, as fun as it is to open up products, sometimes you have to kind of cut your losses and be like, okay, I want to collect this set, and then prepare for Lost Origin because that Aerodactyl looks sweet, and that Giratina looks awesome, and that Rotom is fantastic, and that Persiker is wonderful, and you want to kind of devote your funds to that. So I want to throw these numbers out there so you can see where the market is for Pokemon Go. A lot of interesting stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about Sword and Shield 12.5, which is absolutely insane to me. Leave a like and a comment on the video if you could, because it goes a really long way for the algorithm. Share the channel, share the love, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, peace.